Welcome to the Health and Happiness Show. As many of you know, Janet Hawkins is my name, and I am the host of the show. And I am also a graduate from Kent State, and I'm a board-certified doctor of naturopath. And I've been doing this show for like 20 plus years. And what I am here for is to provide education and to give you some suggestions on how to be a little healthier lifestyle. May it be going out and taking a walk in this nice weather. Hopefully we're all enjoying the summer season, the sunshine, the green leaves. You know, it's a great opportunity to take time to enjoy the simple things in life, just listening to the birds sing and just the new life that is coming. So, and it brings me to the new life that is coming, like, the plants are coming up now, the azalea bushes are blooming, and the lilacs just finished. So now here we are going into the planting season. So hopefully, as many of you know that I have shared with you, being a doctor and naturopath, our disease today is coming from the standard American diet and the toxins that we're exposed to today. Remember, last month we talked about doing a cleanse because it's a season change. We just finished up with spring. Now we're going into summer. So, hopefully you've done your cleanse, but if you haven't, it's not too late. You can still move on and do that. It's very, very important that it's just like your vehicle. Many people take better care of their car, keeping it clean, keeping it running smoothly. We've got to do the same for ourselves. And you're the CEO of your body, so you are in charge. We all need our doctor. That's number one thing that we all have to remember. We need a medical doctor because, a lot of times we need to do at least a yearly blood work every year, and there are many times that we do need to take medication. Maybe if you have a blood sugar issue, things of that sort. But there are other things that you can work with that. But the first rule of thumb that you always have to remember is do not take your supplements. May it be a vitamin D, may it be vitamin C, may it be vitamin D, C, A, any of those. You do not take it with your medication, always 1 hour apart. So that's the first rule of thumb that we always have to remember, not taking them together. Because a lot of times, especially if you're on blood pressure medication, there's a diuretic in that and it'll pull that out, so it would not be beneficial for you. So it's best to take it at least an hour apart. So that's the first thing we need to always remember. So now we are going into summer, and this is the recording I'm doing for the month of June. So it's still not too late to plant some of your vegetables. Now, I know I have some parsley here. This is the middle of May, and I haven't planted my parsley yet, so I'm putting that on my to-do list because I've been very, very busy with, taking care of the business and maintaining the yard and doing many things. As it's a busy time for all of us. So it's not too late to plant maybe some parsley or some lettuce as well. Now, so I have already planted my lettuce. I planted it on Easter. I remember because it was a beautiful day on Easter, and it's up like this right now. But I did cheat because you see the lettuce here in front of the desk here for doing the show. I stopped in at Petiti's, which is my weakness, because I love my flowers, my fresh vegetables, and they have such a great variety. And I had bought the lettuce there last year as well. And for $19.99, this is the lettuce that I purchased. This will last me all summer, because when you trim it back, when you use it for a salad or a sandwich, that lettuce will still come back. So I thought, I planted my lettuce in a little container, a large container actually, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy this one because I can make a salad like, 3 days a week with this, add my onions, add my tomatoes, a little bit of cheese, and some cucumbers. There you go. And I make my own salad dressing, which reminds me, next month we're going to have a nutritionist as our guest. And I will have the recipe for the salad dressing that I make. I use avocado oil and non-GMO sugar and organic raw sugar as well. and a little bit of vinegar in it as well. So I'll bring the recipe along, because what you have to understand in a lot of these salad dressings today, there could be GMOs, different things like that, which are not good for us. And so we've got to be, and we'll talk about the Yucca app as well, which you can go in and scan the barcode on a lot of these processed prepared foods as well. So I'm just giving you that suggestion. So anyway, it's not too late to plant your lettuce or your parsley. And what I found too is, I bought the little packets. These are organic ones as well. And then I was over at True Value Hardware, and they have seeds there as well, and they have them in the bulk, and it's much more economical to buy it in the bulk. The gentleman was so nice, and I bought the butter crunch, and it was $3, and I don't know, it's a big packet, and I have a lot left, and I can plant that throughout the season if you choose to do that as well. So I'm just telling you there's some different options, and that's back in the seed department. As you go in, you go to the right as well. Okay, so that we can talk about that. So we can plant those, and then we have our plants here as well. Now, I kind of cheat because I have tried starting my plants from seed, but I've not had much luck with that. So it's still, being June, you can still plant your tomatoes, which I've got to do mine. Mine are getting a little root bound. You can see the roots are coming out. It's time to plant these. These are the little tomato sweet cherry ones. And then you can put them on your deck. You don't have to have a big yard or a lot of land. Put them on your deck, put them out by your front door. Maybe you live in a condo, maybe you live in an apartment. Maybe you have a little patio, whatever. You can make it work, because you will know this is fresh. There's no pesticides, there's no chemical sprayed on this. It is fresh. It is growing, and you are taking care of this. And probably water it once or twice a week. And then here is the big one as well. This is the Sugar Daddy, okay? Super sweet, super sugar. So this is a big tomato as well. So I'll put those in I have raised some raised beds, and being so low now, I am not putting out a big garden, and so I am doing the raised beds. And then we have our spaghetti. This is our zucchini. So we'll put this out, remember, it's going to take up some space, so it's going to vine out a little bit. So the zucchini's nice for zucchini bread and things of that sort. So you can go buy these. What you may want to do, due to the economic times, is go to the flea market, which is in Hartville, and that's on Monday, Friday, and Saturdays. I am there every Saturday. On my number is 2033 is the number. I'm under the pavilion outside. And you can also buy vegetables there. You can buy plants there, fresh produce as well. But I'm just saying that it's an opportunity for you to buy some, maybe the plants for you, and they're a little bit cheaper there as well. And then if you're out and about, you can always stop in at my booth number, which is 2033. I am there, set up on Saturdays, usually from 9 until at least 2 to 3. And then I do the free iridology as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I am here to share with you. I love working with especially the younger people today. Like I've had couples that come in like their 30s, 40s. I'm planting a seed, and we're trying to change your internal environment, so by the time you're 60 or 70, you're not having a lot of health issues. We've not to go in and keep everything clean and have it working properly. So just remember, I'll be at the Hartville Flea Market at least May and June on Saturdays. And then in July, I might be out of town for a week, and then I'll be out of town for 4 days when I go to Las Vegas for my certification for my traditional doctor naturopath as well. So that's that. So anyway, what I thought I would talk about this evening or today is well, first of all, we do a newsletter. Forgot to tell you that. This was our newsletter, and then we're talking about solutions if you're having still symptoms from COVID as well. So that's something that we're provided. and then we do the BTA as well. Okay, so now we're going to get to the nitty-gritty. So anyway, what we're going to talk about is, since it's summertime, I thought it would be so important for us to go in and talk about the herbal first aid kit. And we're going to talk about everyone making a little herbal first aid kit, because a lot of times whenever an emergency happens, you don't have time to run to the health food store or to the drugstore. So it's best to have something there for you. And plus you can make your own little herbal box. So what I have done, I'm going to share it with you, is this. I have, it's like a little box here, and whenever we go away, if we may go down to on vacation, I will pack this as well, or if I'm going out of town, like, I will pack certain things as well. But especially I have this on at home as well. And something happened this probably about 2 weeks ago. I was trimming in the yard and with the hand mower, and I'm trimming around the pine tree, and as I'm pushing the mower in, the branch from the pine tree punctured my arm. So I'm going to show you the wound there, as you can see it, and it was bleeding profusely. And so immediately I turned the mower off, and I went into the house and got into my little kit here, and what I had picked out was yarrow. The first thing I could think of was to quit the bleeding, because it was running down my arm, bleeding really, really bad. And I'm sitting there and thinking, do I go to the stat care or to the emergency room, or what do I do? So I applied the pressure, and then I opened a capsule of yarrow. Why did I choose yarrow? Because there are two different choices I could have used. One would be yarrow, and one would have been capsicum. So what I did is I chose the yarrow. Reason being is I knew it would not burn. Where the capsicum, if I would have pulled that capsule apart and put that powder on, it would have burned tremendously. So either of those two will work to stop the bleeding. So I pulled the capsule apart and I sprinkled it on the wound, and then let me show you how it looks now. And he'll bring up the picture as well. And you can see how it is healed up very nicely. So, and it was starting to itch like maybe like 5 days ago. So I took the bandage off everything, because to me that's telling me it's healing. So, and I don't think I'm going to have a scar like I thought I might, but you know, it's no big deal. So what I did is I pulled the capsule of yarrow apart, and I sprinkled that on the opened wound. And then that night I said, okay, I better clean that to make sure there's no bacteria in there and no infection. So what did I use? I used Silver Shield. I took the liquid, and I took the eyedropper, and I sprinkled some on it and kind of swirled it around and let it seep in. And then I let it dry and let it open for a little bit, and then I applied more yarrow as well. So I cleansed it, but then if I had to do it over again, what I would do is I would have added arnica, but I was so concerned about the bleeding, because it was bleeding a lot. But the yarrow or the arnica would have been excellent, because it would have taken the bruising away and a lot of the internal inflammation. But again, like I said, whenever you're bleeding that badly, the first thing you can think about is to stop the bleeding. So I just wanted to share that little experience with you. This is why, you know, I went right in my house, and here was everything all ready to go. So that's what I'm saying. What if I not had this? I don't have time to run out, you know, with the arm bleeding. So get your paper and pencil together, and your pen and your tablet, and we'll go through a lot of the different choices that we have to do. Okay, so get paper and pencil ready for the first aid kit. Okay, so the first one that we're going to talk about is the capsicum, and that can come, like I said, it can come in a capsule, and it can come in a liquid as well. And I had that also in the capsule form. And then we have the choice of the yarrow. I have them in Ziploc bags, so it's convenient if we're traveling, or if I'm home, I can go in, pick it up, there you go. You never know. I haven't used any of the emergency first aid kits for over a year, but it was still there for me, so whenever you need it. So all you can do is put these in a Ziploc bag and have them in your little box. May it be a little fishing kit, a little box or something like that. You can pick up maybe at the dollar store or at Mark's, places like that, okay? So the capsicum and the yarrow is going to stop the bleeding. And also, whenever you use the capsicum, it's going to stimulate your circulation and help the healing as well. So that's really important. So we've got those two taken care of. And then another one that we always have too is lobelia. Now let's go in and find that one. Here it is. Okay. I always have this open as well. Now the lobelia, this is another name for it, is Indian tobacco, but it's interchangeable. Another name is lobelia as well. Okay, and it is going to go in and relax the muscles, especially if you're having leg cramps. You can apply this liquid externally, and that leg cramp's going to be gone within 2 minutes. If you have asthma and you're having difficulty breathing, you can take this liquid and you can rub it on your chest as well. It'll relax the bronchioles also. And also, it can go in and it can help you with a lot of anxiety attacks and stress, and can go in and help catching headaches as well. So I always have one of these open if it is needed. And I like it in the 1 ounce bottle. It doesn't have to be the 4 ounce. So I like it for that reason. So you can have it right there. Okay. So another one that I always have open as well is for the immune system. And this is one of my best sellers. It is called olive leaf. And you've heard me talk about this before. Olive leaf is going to help against viral, bacteria, candida, and parasites. So you are going to address all 4 of those by taking this. And you can even take this every hour if you need to, if you feel like you're coming down with a cold or something like that. I know, like when I'm doing an event, maybe it be at the Holistic Psychic Fair, maybe it be at the flea market, or I'm seeing clients. If I have a busy week, I will usually take an olive leaf at least once, maybe twice a day, just to protect myself with seeing a lot of people. Because when I do the saliva and urine testing, which is called the biological terrain assessment, I am seeing a lot of viruses today. Who knows where it's coming from? But I'm seeing a lot of that in the heavy metals. So I feel as though this can help our immune system without being an antibiotic and your body getting resistant to that as well. And it's not killing the good bacteria. So this is very, very, very good. And then there's other choices. You can also take maybe some echinacea, but I prefer the olive leaf. Reason being is the echinacea basically goes in and increases your white blood cells, which that's going to help your immune system, where basically the olive leaf is going in and covering the parasites, which the echinacea won't, and it's also going to go in and help the immune system totally as far as viral bacteria, and it's going to help with the candida. So with the candida and parasites, the olive leaf is going to help that, where the echinacea would just help with the virus or the bacteria. So that's just explaining that to you as well. And we have that in the 1 ounce, but I prefer it. It's more economical in the 4 ounce rather than the 1 ounce in that particular situation. So that is the olive leaf to help your immune system as well. And then also, we have the liquid silver shield, which, you know, like I had a client text me and said, hey, she's a client from Cincinnati. Hey, my kids seem to having strep throat. What do I use? And I suggested to her to get some fresh garlic and chop it up and mix it with a little bit of honey. And that would help with the strep throat for a child that's small, like 3 or 4. Or she could take some silver shield as well. But my primary thing for strep throat would be the garlic chopped up with some honey, crushed up, and then maybe some golden seal. Those are the 2 I would use. But if they were in my office, we would muscle test, because you know how I like to muscle test. Everything has an energy rate, and your body's going to tell me what you need. But she was not here in the office. She's in Cincinnati, so this is what I had told her to do. Now, that was for the strep throat, especially for the children, okay? Now, I like the Silver Shield as well, because that's going to go in, and you can use it in many different things. You can use it like in some eardrops, because I provide the little eyedropper as well. And you can put this in your ear if you're having some ear issues. And the nice thing is you can put it in your eyes if you have dry eyes, or if you feel like you're getting a sty or some type of infection in the eye. It's like the windshield wipers have gone on. So, and then also you can put the Silver Shield up your nose if you're having a sinus infection. It could be a bacteria going up in the sinuses. So you sniff it up. I know I had used it probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I couldn't believe how much better I felt after sniffing this up the nose area. So you can take this internally straight. There's no taste to it. And then you can put it in your ears if you're having some ear issues. Maybe an ear infection from swimming, things of that sort. You can put it in your eyes. So it's just great to have it around. And then I have a small size like this, the 4 ounce, in the bathroom if it needed to be used. So that is something that you might want to add to yours as well. And then it comes in a salve as well, if you prefer to use that. And you can use that if you're having a little bit of irritation as well. And that is called the Silver Shield Gel, okay? And I keep both of those, the liquid and the gel as well, okay? And like I said, you can use the liquid for the eardrops, the sinuses, the throats, the ears, all of that. And it can be taken internally, and no, you do not have to delete it. And you can use it for colds and flus as well. And then also, you can use this, the gel, for any like internal infection to help clean that as well. Or you can use it as a hand sanitizer as well. So, but that one I don't use that much. I prefer the liquid. It's more economical, and it's much easier to use as well. Now, the one thing we can't forget, now where did we have this one? Okay. Oh, the activated charcoal. Everybody has to have the activated charcoal, especially this time of year, because here we are, the bees are swimming around, they're swarming around. I know the yellow jackets were by my sliding door the other day, and I said, okay, where's the charcoal? So I had it out just in case. Okay, so the charcoal is great. I like it in case you get stung by a bee. So what you do is you pull the capsule apart. And the nice thing is about this, you can see how dark and black it is. There is no expiration date. This can be good for 5-10 years. I've had this container open for a long, long, long time. And whenever you get stung by a bee, this can come in bulk or capsules. I prefer the capsules because then you just take out a certain amount that you want. It was just more convenient for storage for me. But you can get it in the bulk as well. So you pull the capsule apart, and what you do, say, whenever I was a mail carrier, I always had some of these in a Ziploc bag, because whenever you open a mailbox, there could be a bee. So what you do if you get stung by the bee, you open up the capsule of charcoal, you put it in the palm of your hand, or if you're home, go in and get a little dish, add a little bit of water, or if you're not home and you're out hiking, whatever, you can spit on that and make a paste. And you can put that over that bee sting, and you can actually feel it pulling out the ventum. This will work for spider, any insect bite, anything like that, but bees in particular, because you can feel the results immediately. So activated charcoal is one you always have to have. Also, you can take it internally if you have a reaction. I noticed a long time ago when my daughter was in college, she had a reaction. We had gotten a sample of tampons in the mail, and she used them, and the first time she used it, she had a terrible reaction. She started itching. She was having difficulty breathing. And I gave her some charcoal, and we went to on our way to ER. And we were just about halfway there, and she said, hey, it's relieving the symptoms. So we went home and had her get in a bathtub of water with some ginger and some Epsom salts to draw it out, and gave her more charcoal, and all was good. So you can take this. They've used it in emergency rooms for many years for drug overdose as well. So all you have to do is you can't take one. You can't take two. I know in her particular situation, we took like 4 or 5, and we took that like twice. Now, another thing too that you can use this for is if you have diarrhea, it should go in and help with that. But my first choice is whenever we have diarrhea, I would rather go to slippery elm, because that's going to go in and calm down the gastrointestinal, the colon, totally. So, but this can be used for diarrhea as well if it's really bad. So I know I had gone to Europe back in the 90s. No, that was in the 90s, but I went to China in like 2016. I did not pack my charcoal with me, which I should have. And that's why I'm really particular now on what I have when I leave and go on a trip. I got food poisoning over there and was deathly ill. I couldn't eat for a week, and I lost like 10 pounds. And so that's, again, for food poisoning, you can take the charcoal again. Anytime you get a reaction that comes out through your skin, remember, we have 4 elimination systems. We have the colon, we have the urinary, we have the skin, and we have the lungs. Many times whenever you get a toxic reaction to something you've ingested, it may come out through your skin. You know, you may get diarrhea. So you have to flush yourself with a lot of water, drink a lot of water. And we tend to not drink enough water in our world today. So just remember, if you weigh 200 pounds, you take half of that weight, and that's how many ounces of water you need to drink. So, and if you don't like the water, the taste of water, remember we have our chlorophyll here. So all you do is add the little chlorophyll to your water, and you drink it throughout the day. Now, when I'm at the Hartfield Flea Market, I have samples of this as well. And it's great because it's got so many benefits of the chlorophyll. The chlorophyll is going to go in and balance your pH. pH, whenever we're too acidic, that is when disease begins. It's also going to go in and detox you. And it's also going to help your red blood cells, your hemoglobin, if you tend to be anemic. So all you have to do is add this to your water and drink it throughout the day. And what is so really neat about this, plants, you know, they have no mindset, but they have energy. So whenever I come home from doing an event, if I have any chlorophyll water left, you know what I do is I feed my hibiscus plant and the rest of the plants in my house. The hibiscus plant thanks me by giving me a beautiful red bloom every time within 1 to 2 days after I have provided the chlorophyll water to the plant. So if you have a plant that's sick, feed it some chlorophyll water. And the shelf life of the chlorophyll is 2 years. So some people will say, hey, mine's still in the refrigerator. Well, first of all, you need to remember to use it. So mine's always setting out, because when clients come in, I have a new client coming in tomorrow, I will serve them some chlorophyll water. It's an introduction, and I give you a printout and explain to you what it does. Most of us are too acidic due to soda pop, coffee, and stress. Seeing so much stress today in the world. With the economy and with not knowing the unknown on what's going to happen each day, this is where we have to have faith and take 1 day at a time. So that is the chlorophyll that you would add to your water as well, okay? And then we talked about the charcoal as well. And then we can't forget this one. Okay, let's go into this one. This is the distress remedy, and this is awesome. It is a basically like a homeopathic, and you only use it whenever you're really stressed out, okay? Or it's an emergency situation that there's going to be stress. So it can be used to relieve both physical and emotional shock, and it helps a person to be more calm and centered and more balanced. And also it can be applied to speed the healing of many minor injuries as well. And so, yes, you can take it straight. It's got an eyedropper. You can put it right under your mouth, and it's very, very calming, and I always have that on hand as well, okay? And then we can't forget, I know we have it here. Let's go in and find it. Well, I know I packed it, but anyway, it is the seasonal allergies. Allergies are still very, very, very much a challenge right now. So the nice thing about the seasonal allergies, you only take it when you need it. And this has horseradish, fennel, and mullein. And the shelf life is like 4 years. And you only take 4 whenever you need it. And you can take 4 of those every 2 to 3 hours as needed, okay? And then we have the aloe vera, which, oh, there's our seasonal allergies. Right here it is. So you take 4 of these just whenever you need it. Like I said, horseradish, fennel, and mullein. And you just take the 4 when you need it. And usually within 20 minutes, you can see a difference, especially like I've been having a lot of symptoms of allergies with sneezing and then blowing my nose and runny nose, things of that sort. If I take 4 of those, in 20 minutes, it calms everything down. And some days maybe I have to take it twice. Some days I don't take it for 3 or 4 days. Listen to your body. It is talking to you. So it's telling you what is going on. And sometimes we get busy, but we've got to slow down, take time, and listen. Your body is talking to you. So that's that. And then we also have the aloe vera gel. And this is a liquid, of course, and especially now it's summertime, maybe somebody's going to get a sunburn and they're outside playing or they're swimming and then all of a sudden with the sun they've gotten burned. So you just apply this externally and it's going to calm everything down. And I know one of the ladies had called me, one of my clients, and said, hey, I'm having some dermatitis and some irritation, and it's, you know, kind of itchy and dry. And I said, do you have an aloe plant? Yes, I do. I said, go break open the plant, get the juice, and apply it to that area, and it's going to calm it right down. So just remember, if you have the plant, you can use that as well. So that's what we're doing for that one, and let's move on here with our notes. Okay. Now, also, what I thought I would do is I would talk about maybe some of the problems that you're having and give you a quick fix, okay? So the first one is, if we are having a scratch or injuries to prevent infections like, you know, I had, what you can do is you can add some aloe vera gel, you can add some Silver Shield, you know, just take it and clean it with that as well to prevent anything getting infected. And then remember, that is for if you get a scratch, if the cat scratched you, you can use the Silver Shield, you can use the aloe vera gel, things of that sort, okay? And of course, I would use the Silver Shield because you don't want to get an infection. So that would be the number one I would go to. And the next one is, so if you're having an asthma attack, we would go to the lobelia. So put that down in your notes again. And then if we're getting a bites or a bee sting, we need to go in and reduce the swelling. And then another thing that I wanted to share with you, we have poison ivy now. So just remember, because I know last year I got into the poison ivy and it was a mess. So I now have jewelweed. Jewelweed is the plant that grows by the poison ivy. And all you do is you apply that externally on the poison ivy, and then also you can take this internally, and that will help with that as well. And then what I like to do to add to that is the BPX. The BPX is a combination to go in and clean your blood. And it has burdock in it, which is going to clean your blood. It has red clover to clean again, dandelion to clean, yellow dock to clean, and then has a little bit of cascara. Cascara is a bitter herb, and I don't carry it straight because it's going to cramp you up in the colon and you're not going to be a happy camper. So I like it in a combination, which it's much calmer. So it'll open up the colon. And it has a little bit of yarrow in it again, like we've talked about the yarrow. That's going to stop the bleeding and the itching as well. And it has Oregon grape for the liver. And so what you do is you take 2 of these at least twice a day to go in and clean up the blood, because whenever that poison ivy gets in there, it can be really traumatic. And then you can also get some vinegar and apply that externally to help with the itching and calm it down as well. Those are just a couple of different things. There's different things you can do. You can get really on the gross side, and you can use your urine as well. They've said you can apply that externally that will help with the poison ivy. I'm just saying, if you're out and about hiking and you don't have access to any of these things, that is always a possibility as well. So, okay. So anyway, and then like we have bleeding, we've talked about that again. Of course, we have the capsicum and the yarrow. So at least if you're going out hiking, take some of these basic things with you, okay? Especially if you cut yourself, if you fall, you scrape, you know, an arm and a leg. So, and then for blisters, you can apply the tea tree oil. I love the tea tree oil. It does many things. I know when my grandson was in his teenage years, he would have some breakouts on his skin. And we would use the tea tree oil and we would apply it externally, and that would dry it up. So tea tree is just nice to have around. Say you have an ingrown toenail, you can apply a little bit of this and it'll help pull out a lot of the infection as well. So I always have that around in case we need that as well, okay? And also then we have the bruises, which we use the arnica again. That's going to go in and help if you've, you know, something has fallen on your foot, and it can go in and help prevent with the things of that sort as well, okay? And then we also have the herbal adjustment and the peppermint oil, which is always in my case, always, wherever I go. So the herbal adjustment and peppermint oil, you always add the peppermint oil first. The reason you do that is because that's going to go in and it's going to get more oxygen into the area, especially if you carry tension in your neck. So what you're going to do is go like this, take the peppermint oil and rub it on the neck area. That's going to go in and on, you know, because a lot of times I'll put it on my clients and I can feel how tight their neck is. That's going to go in and increase the circulation. So we always use peppermint oil first, and then we add herbal adjustment over that. And that has lobelia in it again, which is going to go in and relax the tension. It's got capsicum, which is going to increase the circulation as well. And then you apply that over it. So it's a 2-for-1 kit, and you apply that over that as well. I tend to carry a lot of my tension in my neck because I'm usually working on the computer at least an hour a day, or at least writing, things of that sort. So that's nice to have that available as well. And the thing is, you can use it on your neck for tension. You can use it on your hip if your hip is bothering you, or if your knee, you can try that as well. You can use it on any parts of your body. Listen, it's talking to you. And these are liquids, and all you do is rub it right in. Peppermint oil goes on first because I always put number 1 on the bottle when everyone buys one so they remember. And number 2 is the herbal adjustment goes over that. So that's a little bit of the views for herbal first aid kit. So hopefully everybody is going to get ready and get their summer first aid kit. So, but we can't forget our precious little animals. So I wanted to include some information for our pets. The first thing I would like to share with you is my little Minnie. She has her little bi-power pet shield on. And that is, I get it from Dr. Fisher, and it's good for a year. And what it is it's a little, you can see right here it is, it's a little pin that goes around on her collar. I hook it on her collar, and it helps with the vibration rays to keep the fleas and the ticks away. It's good for a year, and I got hers last, I think it was May, so I forgot to bring my tick checker. I have a tick comb that I check Minnie because she has black hair, and it's hard to see the ticks, but when I'm petting her, I can feel the tick, and I found one on her neck. So of course, it takes 1 month for it to click in, so I've been checking her for ticks, and all is good. Now we put the new one on. So this is good for pets, or it's also good for cats as well. And what you have to remember, it is good for 1 year, and there's no chemicals or pesticides, so it's non-toxic for our pets, and there's no maintenance. You clip it on, and there you go. And as nice too is it helps against fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, all of the above. And all you do is put the little, it's like a little round disc, and you put that on her collar. And it's nice because I can hear a click, click when she's right behind me. And it's stainless steel for 1 year. You attach it and forget it, and there you go. So there's that for our pets, which I highly recommend, especially with the ticks right now. So another one that I really, really, really like too is diatomaceous earth. And of course, this is food grade. So this is a little powder, food grade, and you can use it for people, you can use it for pets. And actually, don't laugh, we have our chickens now out in their chicken house, so I'll bring pictures next month. And the chickens are doing well. Actually, I fed them this morning. I had some apples that were getting kind of old, so I cut them up and gave them to the chickens and talked to them, and they like that. So, and no, we don't have eggs until August at least. And the crow still hasn't, we're waiting for the rooster to crow. So we're still waiting for that. Just adding a little humor in. So anyway, with the diatomaceous earth, it's food grade, we're going to add some of that to our chicken feed as well, which is going to help against any parasites or any, like mosquitoes, things of that sort, with any bugs. And this is great. You can put it on your pets as well. So it's going to go in and help with any parasites. It's going to go in and help with your joints of your animals. And how do I apply this? There are different choices. You can apply this on your dog food, and I only add, like maybe with Minnie, I don't add it that often because I feel as though she's okay, but I feel with her being 8 years old, it can help a little bit with her joints, which she seems okay, but going older, I want to prevent any further problems down the road. So you just can add this to your dog food, or you can also, if you have an odor, you can apply this into their bed, and it'll go in and help clean up the odor as well. So it's very, very good, and you can take it for people as well. And the one thing that I like about it, let me get my little printout here. Okay, so it's an all-natural, chemical-free deodorizer for pets. And so if you have a smelly pet, it'll go in and help with that as well. So, and then no worries, it'll help neutralize kitty litter as well. And it's going to go in, and it's an excellent insect repellent and controls garden pests such as worms, ants, spiders, things of that sort, okay? So if you have pets that are in the garden a lot and aren't happy about these chemical pesticides, then what you do is you can use the diatomaceous earth. And what you can do is mix that in water and make a spray and sprinkle that around your plants as well, okay? So, but all I said is what you can do is if you don't want to buy the little thingy to put on their collar, you can get the diatomaceous earth. And you always want to make sure it's food grade. And then you can apply this dust over their fur, and this will go in and help repel against the fleas and the ticks and the flies. So you just rub it on into their skin, and there you go. And then the nice thing is, a lot of times the cats or the dogs will lick that. And so they're working as an internal cleanser as well. So you're getting some benefit of that. So I now carry the diatomaceous earth, and there you go. And that's food grade as well. So let's go in and talk a little bit more in depth about other choices for our pets. So let's talk about our dogs, because many of us have a dog or cat, so we'll talk about the dog first. So here's 4 herbs for the dog. Okay, so say for example, if your dog has an infection in their ear, so you can go get a garlic clove and add a little bit of olive oil to that. And then what you can do is you peel and you crush up the garlic clove and you let it set for about 5 days, and you strain it, refrigerate it, and then you put it, warm it up to body temperature and put the eardrops in their ear. You could either do that by mixing that up, and if you don't want to do that, you could add some Silver Shield to their ears as well, okay? So another thing too is that we can do, if they're having some liver issues, you can add a little bit of milk thistle. It's going to go in and help restore that liver cell, and you can use some Oregon grape. So I'm just telling you, and some dandelion. All of those are different choices. Just remember, what works for the people is going to work for our animals as well. This is one that I use very often for little Minnie, and it is called slippery elm. With little miniature Dachshunds, they tend to have a sensitive gastrointestinal system. So a lot of times when she visits my daughter, because my daughter will watch little Minnie whenever I'm out of town or if I'm doing the flea market, because she doesn't like to be alone. And she might come home because maybe somebody gave her something she's not used to, but she still likes to eat it. So she'll end up with some diarrhea, and all I do is pull the slippery elm. It comes in capsules or bulk, so I now have it in bulk, which is more economical. It'll last me forever and ever. And I just sprinkle a little bit on her dog food. Like say if she came home and she had some diarrhea, I will add that at night, and the next day it is fine. It completely controls that. And we can do that for people as well. So especially if you have a daughter, maybe a teenager in college or somebody, whatever, they have constipation, irritable bowel, I would put them on maybe muscle test for some slippery elm, because that's going to help with constipation or diarrhea. So it's going to go in and help with the internal inflammation. Something is irritated that colon. So all you do is take that as well. So I like it because slippery elm is very helpful. It's going to go in and take care of it within a 12-14 hour period. So they don't have issues going on and on and on. So that's one I always have open for our little Minnie, okay? And then also for the dogs, the most successful remedy is canned pumpkin if we tend to have constipation too. But Minnie doesn't have that, so we just have basically the slippery elm to help with that as well. Okay, so that one is that. And then how much slippery elm do I use? Minnie weighs like 20 pounds, and I might add, say in a capsule form, I would have probably a third of that and sprinkle it on her food. And I might add it in the morning as well, and that is good. Okay, so that is on the for our dogs. And then also we're going to go and talk about our cats now as well, because many people have cats and they love our cats. They're like family with us. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, again, we would use the same procedure. Get some garlic, crush it up and bruise it, and fill up a small jar and add enough olive oil to fill the jar to 3/4 full, and then cover with a cheesecloth and let it set for 5 days, and there you go. It's going to help with ear infections for the ears as well. So if you don't want to do that, you can go to the Silver Shield as well. Okay, so a lot of things that we use for the dog, we can still use for the cat as well. So also for the gastrointestinal problems, again, I would use the slippery elm. I think that works very, very well. And then, of course, I would use the diatomaceous earth, especially if the cats are outside. And I prefer the diatomaceous earth for the fleas and the ticks. Reason being is There are no side effects from this. It's going to help their joints. Just remember that. Very, very, many, many benefits of diatomaceous earth, but always remember, food grade is really, really critical, okay? So that's the one for the cats, and let's go through a few other things. Let's see. We had a few other information things here. Okay, here's a couple other things too. Okay, so another thing that you want to do too is add the chlorophyll to their water, may it be cats or dogs. You can add that because that's basically going to go in, and it's going to go in and help against cancer and build their blood as well. And just remember with your pets, make sure you check their dog food. No soy and no corn. That's critical. So you read the label on their animal food, because I know my son had just gotten a new a baby golden retriever a couple years ago, and they told him, whatever you do, no soy or corn, because with golden retrievers they tend to get cancer. So we've got to really make sure we are feeding them properly. And then we've talked about the slippery elm, and it's for your digestive distress. So it's going to go in and calm everything down, especially with the diarrhea. Now, for the cats, if they're having any urinary problems, I would definitely consider some cranberry buchu or maybe some Hervé Ursi. And also you can use a little bit of garlic, like I said, as well. All right? And then the tea tree oil is excellent for the pets too. We talked about that right here. And it will kill fleas or ticks on contact. Now, whenever I found the tick on Minnie, I just pulled it out with the tweezers. Remember, you pull it up straight, and I threw it in the toilet and flushed it down the toilet, okay? And so also what you can do is you can use some of the tea tree oil to add that to your shampoo if you are bathing your pet as well. And that's going to go in and help. So we can also use homeopathics all the time. And this is just a list of different things that we can use, but there's homeopathics you can use as well. So we've just got to remember, we've got to take care of our animals, we've got to take care of ourselves. So hopefully this has given you some suggestions on what you need to do to have in your first aid kit. So for the kit, you need to get your capsicum or your yarrow for bleeding, remember that. And then we've got the ginger. You can use that if you tend to get nauseated in the car while riding. If you're going on a boat trip, you would always have your ginger along as well. There's a few things I didn't mention. And then remember, for our poison ivy, what we need is our jewelweed as well. You can apply that externally and take it internally as well. And like I said, that plant usually grows by the poison ivy as well. So, you know, it's time to get your little homeopathics here and have everything organized. And like this one, I really like it because this has a little thing on top. And the nice thing too, I forgot to mention this, we have the seasonal allergies in the liquid for kids as well. So you can just use the liquid and give them like 1/4 of a teaspoon, and that'll calm everything down if they're having allergies as well. So that's good to know. And then we have the golden salve, which I've been using on my skin, and from the cut that I had from mowing the yard with the wood branch. And this has olive oil and beeswax, and I just go in because it was itching, and it's going to go in, and it has a little bit of comfrey in it too as well, and some yarrow and white oak bark, so, and a little bit of marshmallow. So it's a combination of different things, and I've had this one for a couple of years. Just use it whenever we need it, and it's going to go in and help with the dryness whenever it's healing as well. Okay, so if you have any questions, you know, give me a call, and just remember, get your tomato plants out there and plant them. Plant your lettuce. It's not too late. And remember, you're the CEO, and you want to provide quality products and fresh food Especially this is the peak season to get everything planted so we have fresh food. There's nothing nicer than going out into the garden and picking what you have planted and what you have watered and taken care of through the summer months. So be well, be grateful for your many blessings, and remember, life can change in a heartbeat. So take time for you and your family and be well and enjoy the summer. Remember, get out there and move and walk, de-stress, get sufficient sleep. Attitude is so important. Be well and enjoy the summer months and family. Thank you.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.